Let's discuss some more interview questions for business analyst. What is the difference between use case and user story document? As documentation is a main role for a business analyst, so there would be some questions based on that. So the answer to this question could be use case document is created in waterfall methodology, whereas user story document is created in agile methodology. So the first difference that we can tell is based on the methodology, the documents are created. Use case story have a trigger, precondition, and postcondition. Use case document contains three flaws. Primary flaw, which would be the best way to of completing a functionality. Alternate flaw, any scenario other than primary flaw via which functionality can be completed. Exception flaw, it includes failure scenario where use case is not completed. So use case story have a trigger, precondition, postcondition, and it contains three flaws. Whereas the user story describes feature from the end user perspective, but it describes in the following format. So there is a particular format in user story document, that is, as a pre-actor, I want to define, uh, just mention the goal for that, what the pre-actor wanted to do, so that business achievement of feature. So in this format, we need to write the user story, whereas there is no particular format for use case, but it contains all these three things: primary flaw, alternate flaw, and exception flaw. User story have acceptance criteria which could be met to mark the user story as completed. Whereas user stories have an acceptance criteria, whereas use case document do not have it. So this is an use case document, and we have shown that this is the precondition, postcondition, exception flow. All these things are mentioned over here. So next question could be, which methodology or framework is currently implemented in your project? Describe it in detail. So the answer could be, in my current project, Scrum methodology is being implemented. I have taken the example of Scrum methodology because among all the projects, this is the most popular methodology that is used, and in most of the project this is used. So definitely I've given the example for it. It is implemented on agile framework. It is a framework for project management that emphasizes teamwork, accountability, and iterative progress towards a well-defined goal. Scrum has 5 meetings. Sprint planning. So in this meeting, product owner takes tasks from the product backlog and put it into the sprint backlog. And even uh, the the story points are being discussed in this meeting. Daily stand up. In this meeting, development team updates the status to Scrum Master. Backlog refinement. In this meeting, product owner prioritize the backlog based on the stakeholder needs. Sprint review. This meeting happens on the last day of the sprint. In this meeting, stakeholder give feedback to the development team for their completed user story. So then the sprint review meeting, the development team shows all the user story that they have completed and take the feedback from the clients or the subject matter experts, so that we can meet their expectation. Sprint retrospective. In this meeting, development team would give feedback on what went well this sprint, what doesn't went well, how it could be improved. So this meeting is particularly for the development team, where we can get feedback that how could we improve more in the other sprints. As we have described the Scrum methodology, one of the most popular methodology in the Agile framework is Kanban. So we will discuss that as well. So this is also an important question in the business analyst interview. Describe Kanban methodology in detail. Kanban is a popular methodology used to implement Agile framework. It requires real-time communication of capacity and full transparency of work. We are saying that the Kanban has a full transparency of work because there is a Kanban board where the task move from one status to another, and it is quite transparent. Work items are represented visually on the Kanban board, allowing team members to see the state of every piece of work at any time. In Kanban team itself pull up the work instead of tasks getting assigned to them. In the Scrum methodology, the uh, the the product owner or the Scrum master assign the task. Whereas in Kanban, the development team themselves they take up the task that this is the task that I can do. So that particular member would take the task, and accordingly, instead of getting assigned, they take the task themselves. It doesn't have the various meetings such as sprint planning and others. So Kanban doesn't have all the meetings, all the various meetings, 5 meetings that Scrum has, but it can. So we can have daily stand up in the Kanban. We can have that other meetings as well based on the organizational needs. So it only have stand up in Kanban. The main aim for Kanban methodology is stop starting and start completing. So the main part of that Kanban is that it's not that we start each and every requirement and we do not complete it. Rather, the main aim is to complete as soon as possible. In Kanban, we have a limit in every status that we can set up that probably there could be 5 tasks that could remain in progress and we can set up a limit. So that's why it is said that for Kanban, stop starting and start completing. Kanban methodology is quite flexible and it can be molded up as per the organizational needs. So this is the Kanban board, and we have various status such as to-do list, work in progress, validate, and complete. And here the tasks move from one status to another. What are the advantages and disadvantages for waterfall and scrum methodology? So let's discuss first about the waterfall. Advantages of waterfall are simple method and easy to use. Phases are clear, suitable for smaller projects, easy to manage. This is a simple method, not much of a meetings and all. And if we have a project that is very clear, we have done it in past, then only we use waterfall. If we are not clear that how this project will go, rather we choose the agile one. So that's why it is suitable for smaller projects where everything is well defined. We are comfortable with that project. So in that scenario only, we use the waterfall. So disadvantages of waterfall are doesn't allow much revision, not suitable for complex projects, risk and uncertainty are high, does not include a feedback path. So changes are not welcome in the waterfall methodology, and even if we get a feedback, we cannot improve it because uh, it follows a pattern that after requirement design would be there, after design development would be there, and after development testing would be there. So in the development, if we feel that we have missed something, if we go back, then there would be a too much of delays and all. So definitely we cannot, the project cannot bear that. So let's discuss the advantages and disadvantages for agile now. So advantages are opportunity for change, increase in quality of the software, progress transparency, engagement with stakeholders, early delivery through sprint, predictable schedule and cost, user focused process. So the changes are welcome in agile. So from the next sprint, if there is any change, we can take that change from the clients and we can do it. We have various meetings so that we can deliver as much value as possible. So clients are quite happy with this methodology. Most of the clients are very happy. As the engagements, as we have various meetings, so uh, we met the expectations. Disadvantages are extensive time commitment from each one involved. Quantifying the real scope can be a challenge. Endless or the boundless work, potential gap in the documentation, resource allocation can be a challenge. There is a huge documentations in waterfall, whereas in agile we do not have that much of a documentation. Other thing is there is a huge amount of time that is involved in the meetings, so that could be a one of the disadvantage. So yeah, that's all about the agile advantages and disadvantages. Thank you.